The Trump tariff situation continues to heat up, as of course Donald Trump currently has 125% tariffs on China and 10% tariffs on everywhere else, with of course a 90-day pause for deals to be worked out. Now, people like Bill Maher are coming out and attacking Donald Trump's tariffs as a very bad idea, but at the very same time, he's inadvertently making a case for those tariffs in the first place. So before we begin, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
Also, have you been reading about rare earth metals?
Yeah.
Okay, let me educate the public because I needed some education on this. First of all, they're not rare, but they are, but they're hard to get, and I can't pronounce them.
Yes.
And China has them all. We're almost completely reliant on them. They go in, they make everything work. I just feel like he picked a fight with the wrong bully. He said this week, China needs to make a deal with us. We don't need to make a deal with them. I think that's completely ass backwards. And I'll tell you, I'm always for America. Don't get this twisted. I want us to win. But this is just the reality of what China is. Cars, planes, things that we use in the military, robots, drones, turbines, missiles, magnets. Apparently everything needs magnets to work. China has 90% of that magnets. Like a car can't work without magnets. And there's something to do with this metal, blah, 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 something, something. I'm going to the store. And this article in the Times said, could we build more rare earth mines, which apparently we're going to need to do so that since we pissed off China about that, and why should they help us now? You know how long it would take to get the next mine online? 29 years. That's America for you. Doge, cutting everything ridiculously, immediately, and the Democrats, 29 years to build something. I have nothing. I have no question. I'm out. Okay, right. To me, this is the essence of what is so up about this country and why nobody can be in the center here where I am, where everything makes sense. Listen to this. We make none of this here, except we have one place here in California, Mountain Pass. They have a rare earth mine there. It takes out of the ground in 1 year what China does in a day. Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say about this, Bill, is that, you know, Trump's like completely chaotic and peripatetic and unplanned strategy. And meanwhile, the Chinese, first of all, he pisses off all of our allies. So we have no way of mounting any kind of a global strategy to contain China where we need to, because they're stealing our intellectual property. They're dumping products into our country in ways that are bad for American manufacturing. I mean, they're doing some bad stuff. But what he does is piss everybody off, and then nobody knows what he's going to do. And meanwhile, China has a long-term plan. They have a strategy that they're proceeding with.
Say, as a Democratic senator, could you make this an issue?
Yes.
This is, I mean, I don't think it's that hard for the Democrats to regain the center. Go at a thing. I talk about this all the time with our governor here. Just the red tape, the ridiculousness of it's not that we can't do anything anymore. It's not that we're not allowed to. And I feel like this is low-lying fruit for the Democratic Party.
You know, and here we are.
And they can build a mine, in a rare earth mine, like in a week.
Yes.
And they don't
opposed to 29 years because of the zoning and the environmental reviews and all this shit. Not that we don't need environmental reviews, but 29 years.
But if it takes that long to build stuff, then we're not going to be a country that's building things anymore, and that's our problem. This is a perfect example of where if the Democratic Party is only defending the status quo and not figuring out how we can do things differently and better, we're not going to be ever in a place where we can win back the majority in the Senate. We're not going to be in the place we need to be. And like, take housing as an example. We know that if we fix zoning laws so that it's easier to build housing, you can fix the housing supply problem, and then housing costs will go down. And that is a strategy that we should be working on. And that is a lot of that's at the local level, but we should be rewarding that at the federal level. That's just one example. If we want to have a clean energy economy and it takes us forever to put the transmission lines up and the distribution lines to get power where people need it, then we're never going to accomplish our goals. We've got to fix this.
So
So Bill Maher starts off by saying that Donald Trump has picked a fight with the wrong bully. But of course, there's something he has to realize. Yes, China is the big producer, but they have to sell their products to us here in America, right? We are the biggest consumers out there, and China has no other place to go. They can't sell the products to their own people because their own people can't afford them. Now, why in the world can't they? Because of the slave wages they get paid over there in China. That's why all of our manufacturing ended up there in the first place. And the rest of the world can't buy in the same amounts that we can. So yes, we are their main customer and they need us. But when you talk about manufacturing and creating things, it's the same argument over and over again from the left. Just because we don't have the industries in place right now, just because it'll take a long time to build things, then we shouldn't start. No, all that means is the right time to start building them was yesterday. We have to get going. And in the case of the rare earth minerals, where yes, China does produce a whole bunch, we still have them here in America. We only have one mine that's actually operational that Bill Maher is referencing, okay? But just because the Democrats say it will take 29 years to get a new mine operational doesn't mean we shouldn't try. And of course, it also makes the case for cutting the red tape, something that only Donald Trump, by the way, was talking about on the campaign trail. He's saying that, yes, it takes decades to move things through the process with the EPA. And that, of course, is a reason why a lot of the big industries out there don't even try anymore because they know they can't get the approval. And Donald Trump is out there with Republicans saying, we've got to cut those regulations back, something that Bill Maher, of course, is actually fighting for. And when he talks to Senator Tina Smith there and says, hey, couldn't you get like a bill passed that actually expedites the whole process, right? This is low-hanging fruit for the Democrats. But by the way, this is something that only the Republicans would really support because to the Democrats who only care about the environment, right, they're all for the red tape because they don't want to build more houses, more factories, more production, more mines, right? They don't want all of that production coming back to America because they're perfectly happy with the situation as it is. For whatever reason, the left and the Democrats think that having China, who's our biggest adversary in the world, by the way, producing all of our medical equipment, all of our medications, all of our rare earth minerals, most of our products, they think that that's a good road to be on and to stay on for the foreseeable future. Until, of course, China gets to such a big state and all of a sudden, hey, guess what? We're going to shut off that valve and declare war on America. We don't want to be in that situation. And as I've said before many times on this channel, we have to have a bit of protectionism. We have to produce things that are important to us here in America. That is why the tariffs are important, to bring manufacturing back to this country, but also as a tool of negotiation so we can get better trade deals for us, so we can sell more products worldwide at less of a cost so our companies can actually make more and expand, all right? So all of these things are going on, and Bill Maher, even though he's out here saying that tariffs are a bad thing and Donald Trump's an idiot for enacting them, he's making the case for them, right? Inadvertently, although it may be, but also as a political standpoint. This would be a winning issue for the Democrats because it's already a winning issue for Americans. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me.